Oh, season, ladies.
I'm so bad at, Jamie's always like, stop leaning forward, just sit with your back straight and speaking to the mic, it's fine. Let the mic come to you. So, she's in trouble for this, by the way. I'm stuck up here on my own with all you beautiful people.
I'm sure you can handle it.
Thank you for coming, by the way, today. Thank you for having us.
Do you like to take questions?
I don't mind at all, yeah. A little warm-up act.
Since I don't have a portable mic, if you have a question, please stand up and please speak loudly and clearly so that he can hear you, okay? Oh, come on. No questions?
No questions? Okay, I'll go then. Thank you.
We're going to go here first.
Yes, could you tell us what your makeup and prosthetics is like every day for filming, like how long that takes? And
yes.
Could you go into detail on that?
Well, this morning, this took me... it doesn't look much, no. Well, for Defiance, the makeup takes about 90 minutes, an hour. About 2 hours. But obviously, when me and Jaime get in the tub, which I hate, obviously. I hate those days. No, it's a lot of fun, but we have to get our full bodies painted. So, there's no, the makeup artists have all seen what we look like. And of course, the Castathins, they don't have any body hair. And I do. So, I remember meeting Jaime about 5 months after the end of season 2, Comic-Con in San Diego, and I had a t-shirt on like this, and, I'm not quite Wolfman, but I'm sort of quite hairy, and she says, oh my God, look at your chest hair. I was going, yeah, I actually do have chest hair. But yeah, we actually do have to shave, not Jaime, but me. We have to shave all the bodily hair off, so when we do, I'm not doing too good here. Where's the wife? When I do, when we go in to do makeup for the bathtub scenes, it takes about 3 hours, 3.5 hours, and so it takes considerably longer for that, As I said to you earlier on, I say to other actors, or even not just actors, but people that come to, cons who dress up, I say, do you have prosthetic depression? Have you been in makeup for more than 7 hours? Call this number now. I'm here to help.
Was the Camp Reverie one?
Yeah, that's your question.
Questions? Go ahead and stand up if you have a question. Go ahead.
Did you learn?
Nice t-shirt.
Thank you. More for you. Did you learn Casti, or do you just have
Speak
to
it fluently. Absolutely. Chef, in fact, I'm going to do the rest of the Q&A in casting. Okay? And no, recently, I can't say too much, or Jaime will kill me. The recent episodes I've just shot, I don't speak English in the episode at all. It's all in Castathan, and you get your dialogue in English, fine, but then you get it in Castathan, and you're like, Stockholm. There's a lot of it to learn sometimes, and it can be quite overwhelming. But that's when we say, can we please? Because it takes about 7 days to shoot an episode, and we shoot 2 episodes consecutively. Here comes
There she is.
Blah blah blah. I'm sure I'm on time, and I won't have to be here.
Sorry, I went to go to the loo. I didn't realise it was miles away, and then I got here and I was loads of the toilet. Sorry, too much.
She's TMI.
Exactly.
But she just.
I was behind a fairy and I was playing with their, horns. It was very difficult.
She's finished shooting at 2 a.m. this morning. I was just seeing how fabulous she looked.
I came in to say things like that. Happy wife, happy life.
We're just talking about makeup. How we love getting into makeup.
That was my question, by the way.
Yes,
Is it fun getting into
Could
was
you answer
so
that too?
fun.
Yes.
The first day, it was so fun.
We're talking about full body makeup.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah, that. I've never had a female makeup artist. It's outrageous. It's crazy. I've always got guys. It's unbelievable.
I think it's planned now.
And they always were kind of like, multitasking different areas. and then sometimes it's just, after that day, you actually also can't get it off. So then they have to scrub you down. It's very, very Grecian. But yeah, actually this morning I rushed out of work and I was going to come here and I knew that the car was picking me up at 4 and rushing, and I got to the airport and I looked in the mirror and all my neck was white. Yeah, so odd.
They're going to frisk you at the airport. Like, what's that white stuff in your face?
You really are an illegal alien. Immigration.
Well, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for coming, honey.
I know. Yeah, no, all the aliens, we all kind of make sidelong looks at the humans on our set, envying them.
Yeah.
And then all the humans complain that we don't have to work as hard as they do, don't they?
Yeah, there's Grant and Julia are always very much like,
Because they're in all the time.
all the time,
And it's like, it's not my fault you chose a boring part. but also their parts, they have to carry the whole story and kind of, be the heart of the piece. I was like, I would never have signed up for that.
Yeah. But they don't have to wear makeup, wigs, or contact lenses. Yeah.
No, there is that. So it's, 6 of one and half dozen of the other.
Questions? Go ahead.
Hello. Like your bow.
Thank you. What was it like being Vincent on Doctor Who?
Oh, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun working with Matt and what's her name? With Curran. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, but it was also quite heavy. It was a bit of a heavy character to play at times. But I was just emailing the director of it recently. He was in Los Angeles, and he's like, "Hey, I'm in LA. Do you want to have a beer?" And I said, "I'm still shooting Defiance in Toronto." But I remember I just had this outpouring of what I felt about it and how I go to conventions and I talk about how moved people have been by it and how, without being too pretentious or gushy, I said, well, that's why we do what we do as actors, is we entertain people, but if we can, at times, we can, also move people. And
But what did he say?
well, he said the same thing actually. He came back.
It's nice that you're in agreement.
Oh, exactly. Thank God. He sort of got quite gushy as well, and was very sort of like.
So you were just both gushing at each
We're
other.
gushing over it, yeah. So no, it was a lot of fun, but it was nice to the reaction that episode's got is fantastic, Thanks for your question.
Yeah, sometimes you're telling stories and you're having fun and you're prancing around and a lot of makeup and stuff, and it's nice to meet you guys and have you tell us the stories that we tell matter to you or you cared about. It's very humbling, it's very moving, and then makes us put our contact lenses back in.
Get your wig on, get your bath on.
Put your bath beads back on. Show me a smile.
I actually have a question about Spartacus. Spartacus was just fantastic.
Thank you.
Absolutely. It looked so energetic and massive. Would you share a wonderful experience on set? I mean, was it difficult? Just share something with us?
I was actually filming Warehouse 13 when I got the audition for that, and I hadn't seen Spartacus. And I don't know if there's any Warehouse fans here, but I said to Sol, who plays Artie, "Oh God, I've got this really interesting piece," and there was no, it's quite a risque show. It's quite a violent show. It's very, very heightened and bawdy and vibrant. But in my scene, it was a conversation, and although the language was quite bawdy, I didn't fully know, how naughty the show was. I told Sal about it, and he was like, "Jaime, have you seen the show? I'm really not sure if it's the kind of show you think you want to be doing? and then I said, oh, okay, so I watched an episode and I was like, oh no, yeah. I'm from Europe, I mean, it's fine. It just seems quite good to me. He's like, really? Like, you really do a show like that? I was like, well, how do you know so much about this show that you think I shouldn't be doing? Oh, Eleanor and I have watched every episode. I was like, so and then when I went there, you know, Stephen DeKnight, who wrote it, who has just done, I've been talking to everyone about Daredevil today. I'm obsessed with Daredevil on Netflix. That's another show that he just wrote. He's a great writer, and you know, he's very perceptive, and however big and heightened and bawdy it is, it's really also subtle and nuanced, and there's so much to play, and it's very rich. So that was amazing and fun. And then, I mean, just Lucy, you know, became a really good friend, and you know, I fell madly in love with her because she's amazing and fun and brilliant to be around. Funny stories. I mean,
You have to talk about
when you went into the makeup truck, it was difficult to know what was facial hair and what went where. And then also the other thing is, we all have different fashions. I mean, you've probably seen how beards have changed over the years. And in the 80s, women look very different than they do now and back in the day. So I had to wear this thing called a merkin, basically, which is like a furry bikini bottom, basically, which is stuck onto you. So my merkin and I didn't want to give it up at the end. I wanted to put it in a Perspex box, have it displayed somewhere. What was I talking about my merkin? Oh yeah, I didn't know when I first was given my merkin. I wasn't sure if I put it on myself or if I should ask somebody to help me with it, and if I would ask them to help me with it, whether it was the hair department, the makeup department.
They all wanted to show up.
No one wanted the job. No one wanted the job. I can tell you. They just kind of given me kind of like some kind of double-sided sticky tape and kind of sent me off with a pair of scissors. And I was like, hold on a minute. I'm working on myself before. Get to it.
You don't have that problem.
So yes. I mean, I didn't know Lucy before, but when on your first day at work, you're talking about merkins, you bond very quickly.
Thank you. Yes, Spartacus was certainly not a family-friendly show.
No. Well, there was lots of family-making business.
Any other questions? Just please stand up, be loud. Right.
How much?
I'm sorry.
Miles on Warehouse 13.
Well, I just mentioned Warehouse and Sal. They became my family really, really soon. I think, I went in the second season, and by then, after the first season, the energy of just working together and being excited about a new show, you very quickly become sick of each other. So by the time I turned up in the second season, I was just like their new plaything, and it was pretty wonderful. No, it was great. I also got to work with Lindsay Wagner, who played Jamie Summers, the Bionic Woman. And I'd never seen Jamie Summers, the Bionic Woman, but I was actually named after her, so that was fun.
I was too.
Oh, you were? Yeah. I actually met another lady today, Jamie, Jaime, who was named after Jamie Summers, the Bionic Woman. She also told me the story about why our name is spelled different from everyone else's, which is why we can't get, a pen or a mug or a balloon or anything, a keyring with our name written on it. It was because there was a tree in a scene in the first episode, the pilot, and she had to walk over to it, and bionically she had to draw with her finger a heart and then her name in the middle. And on the first take, there was only one take, and when she did the take, the camera zoomed in and she spelt it wrong. So we're named after a fictitious dyslexic actress. Good to know. But HD was so fun because she started so bad, and she then became somebody I think the audience accepted and loved. And I love playing those characters that are back to front. I mean, you kind of. She tried to end the world at the end of the first season, and then people, you know, and then she gave herself up for the warehouse, and you know, it was a lovely show because it was the kind of show that, you know, unlike Spartacus, you could watch, you know, your grandmother, your mum, your kids, you could watch together, and there's something for everyone. And it's also nice to play these strong women, you know, and these flawed women. Yeah, it's fun. We love it. Great experience. Thank you.
Who on Defiance is your favorite character and why?
Happy wife, happy life. Because I'm here.
I like the fact that she doesn't wear a merkin. I like the conniving sort of nature of the way Jaime portrays Stammer. You know, I mean, I like playing Daytag, but obviously he's very opposite to what he's more spontaneous and blunt, and you know, but they're both very much survivalists, and they'll do anything to get to you know, to the next level. But I've always found the way Jaime plays Stammer is you know, she's like a snake in the grass. You know, if you step on her, you better run.
So I just love working with Tony. You know, it's just, yeah, you know, it's a great cast. We're really, really lucky. But I mean, I've never met Tony before we did this show, and I just feel really blessed because within a really short amount of time, we had you know, just a shorthand and a comfort level with each other, whereby, you know, I wouldn't be able to play the character that I play without Tony, because Tony allows me to take chances. And you know, when you're acting and when you're creating something, you know, you're not like an artist with a canvas. It is a collaboration, and you know, if you have somebody who is obstructing or not generous, you know, it does really make a difference. You can't do it on your own. It's a dance, and a lot of the time when you're creating, you need to be able to make 5 mistakes and silly things, and oh, should we try this? Oh no, that was a stupid idea. And it's okay that it's a stupid idea. And actually, in all art, you need to be able to do that. You know, being a perfectionist is the opposite of you know, it really gets in the way. And I say that because, you know, I have to kind of let go of that, not be a control freak when I'm working.
In life in general, I guess it's okay to make mistakes. Also,
he laughs at my mistakes, he supports my mistakes, and then out of that, we come up with something, you know, that neither of us had planned or thought of, and it makes us look really, really good, and he makes me a much better actress.
Also, when we talked about makeup and getting, you know, I'd known Jaime that long, and Jesse, who plays your son, and you know, you have to get in a tub, and you're not wearing much with another guy you don't know that well. So those scenes were, you know, challenging for Jaime and you know, myself. You've got a crew around you, and sometimes you're shooting at 2 o'clock in the morning, you know, and you know, they're quite intense scenes. And you know, your makeup's falling off you, and it looks pretty on camera, but logistically it's a fucking nightmare, you know. But you know, getting your clothes off and getting in a tub with someone you've only known for 6 weeks is kind of odd. But we thankfully felt quite comfortable with each other, and you know, ever since it's been a blast. But it's
fun. No, I remember when we first started, I remember kind of being like, I wish I was playing Daytag. I feel like I would have quite liked to have played Daytag.
We could do an episode where we could play each other, that'd be fun.
Well, I tell you off doing that, don't I? Sometimes when we're playing stuff, like as an actor, there's something that Michael was talking about this the other day, our director. He was saying, you know, one of the directions that he often gives to the actors is like, don't get into the same emotional sandbox. So if I play something, you know, and I'm kind of quiet or scared, you know, the other actor can kind of pick up on that because they're sensitive, and then the whole thing can become, and really they should be playing the opposite, like maybe like comforting or happy or perky or protective or whatever. But and sometimes I'll be doing something and then Tony will do something, I'll go, don't do that, that's what I'm doing.
Do your own
Do
thing.
your own thing. Then there's this other thing that we do that I would never dare to do with another actor, which is, we have lots of fights and we have lots of like fun scenes, and before they call action, I'll literally pinch him, and I'll say something which is to do with the scene, and I'll be like, you've got no control, and you got us into this position in the first place, and why did you do that?
You're an idiot. You're an idiot.
Often swear, and action, and then we go. Do you know what I mean? We're hot, and it's like there's a level of trust and comfort. He knows that I don't mean it. He knows it's a safe zone that we're playing, but we're trying to get somewhere to get together, and and it's just I've never done that with another actor.
It's great. It's
Have
great.
you ever done that with anyone else?
Sometimes.
Oh,
it's fun with
bastard.
you. No. You bastard. You're unfaithful prick. No, not as much as you, but sometimes it's
Has
fun.
anyone else abused you as much as I've abused you?
No, I can't say on or off camera. We do a scene, because Jaime slips into her American accent as I do his daytime. But she'll be shouting at me and she'll be like, "You daytime, you're a pain in the arse, you're a pain in the arse, you did this, you messed up that." You go, action. She goes, "Daytime, what are you doing with that other woman?" so I just go straight into it. So, yeah, I like doing that. But sometimes it's so intense, and we get
Can you
into
imagine
it.
doing that with Grant, would you?
No chance, no way. And then they say,
he punches!
he's punching me. They say action, and I forget my first bloody line because I'm so into sort of abusing each other.
I have a question for Tony. When you played Vincent Van Gogh in Doctor Who, at the end when you started crying, was that just because it was so emotional, or was it forced?
Oh God. Oh no, I guess it was because it was. Yeah, it was. Because that's what the director told me.
I wasn't there shouting at him.
Yes, thank God. Brought my tears on quicker. No, I guess it was. We talked to the director about it, and Richard Curtis, the writer, and I guess if you were if you were moved through time into another place and you saw your work, we all thought, what would his reaction be? And you thought, well, it's the one of somebody who's done some beautiful things in his life, and it's only until after he's dead that people realised what a genius and what an amazing individual he was. And I think that's the sadness of the story and of anybody really in life, in any walk of life, is that some people in society don't get recognised for things that they do.
I think it's so common as well as an artist, as an actor. I don't know if you're the same, but I can sometimes, when I'm working, judge myself so fiercely and kind of think that something wasn't very good or it wasn't good enough or whatever. And then when I see it, after all that emotion of like trying to find it or push for it or control it or whatever, I see it and I realise it was good. It was good enough, but you never realise at the time, do you? And you beat yourself up.
Everybody, I think all of us do that for no matter what we're doing. We try to sort of make things the best we can. We do, but that moment was is the sort of arguably one of the greatest sort of unsung heroes of art or anything that he never realised. So when we did that scene, I guess it was it was the fact that he didn't get much compassion in his life. Maybe he went to a few brothels or companionship. Artistically, he didn't. If you try your best at anything you do, and you keep getting knocked down, and you don't get anything from it. And then through the TARDIS and Doctor Who, bringing him to the future in that world, that he saw that he was loved and he was valued, and I think anybody who watches it, anybody who talks to me, they always go like crying. I've shown it to my grandmother or granddad, and he doesn't watch Doctor Who, but he watched that episode and he cried like a child, So yeah, it was a sort of it seemed like with a response that we have to that moment, Yeah. I hope that answered your question.
But do you find for both of you it's more fun to play sort of bad characters or good characters?
I think the former. I I think the thing is, I think with these two characters is that they have got, because they're both from very different levels of society. Stammer's character is she's from a very affluent society. Data was not, but within that, world, as a woman, she was from a very, like many areas of human society and culture, she's from a very patriarchal society. The woman doesn't have a lot of power.
Yeah, but do you like playing goodies or baddies?
Oh, I do. I like playing baddies, but like he's a whore with a heart of gold.
Okay, but who is your favourite goodie?
Jenny.
Who's your favourite goodie that you ever played?
Favourite goodie?
Yeah. Have you got a favourite goodie? No, because they're boring.
Vincent's probably one of the favourite goodies I've ever played.
Well, he wasn't a goody. He was tortured.
He was tortured,
but he was good in him.
But he wasn't a baddie.
No, he wasn't a baddie.
But no, I think the bad characters I've played, we like playing them because they're bad, but they've got good in them.
But I think to tell you the truth, we're character actors. I think that for guys, there are more options, and there are definitely much more options for women now. But historically, the good parts for women have been such strong stereotypes. They've just been a little bit thankless, really.
A bit boring, in a sense. Unfortunately,
a little bit boring. There's not always the same dimension, and oddly enough, you mustn't fall into the trap of playing a baddie. I don't, to tell you the truth, and actually this is a line from Daredevil, this show I couldn't remember, Stephen DeKnight's lines, and this priest says, there are no heroes and there are no villains. There's only people with agendas, and I just find that the characters I play who are bad have much more interesting agendas than the good ones. The agendas of good characters are very, very straightforward. And for a woman, you often get from men, you get very tortured heroes. I mean, that would be more interesting to play. But for women, the heroine character has she's pretty good.
Yeah, I think there's complexities that why people say, oh, I like that character on a certain show because he or she is a so-called baddie or tortured. But I think it's because as human beings we can sometimes relate to the evil queen, or we can relate to the Jim character.
If you're not playing a caricature and you're playing somebody and you are literally playing somebody, and often our characters, they do bad things because they're life and death kind of choices, and they're between a rock and a hard place, and you can kind of understand why they're making those choices. And I feel enormous compassion for my characters and for humanity, because if I can care about these people that do these terrible things, you really have to put yourself in someone else's shoes, don't you?
Yeah, no, because some of the things that these characters do are, they're very awful and terrible. But
before I got on the plane, I had to wash the white off my neck, and I had to get the blood from under my fingernails. It was really annoying. I couldn't fly,
I'm glad I wasn't in that scene. I won't ask what you were doing.
No, I won't tell.
So in Warehouse 13, did you know that you were going to be evil from the start, or that you were going to have this sort of arc after?
So I thought that she was the villain of the piece, and I don't know necessarily if they knew that. I think they were probably going to just have me be the baddie of that season and then die at the end. And then, I infused. I tried to think about why she would make these choices and do what she did. And I gave her a sense of humour, and I gave her, some sadness and pain. And I think that the audience kind of really connected with those things and wanted her to be good, and wanted her to be redeemed and be better. And then Jack Kenny, who wrote the show, saw that very quickly, and we had a great rapport, and he got to know my personality as well. He's not all directing, producing writers actually sit on set right there and then and like change things that don't work, and are there every single shooting hour and day. But he is, it's crazy. But yeah, he was there, and maybe if he hadn't been there, it wouldn't have gone on. But he was there, and he kind of saw how I was gelling with the crew and the cast, and that we were really, really close, and yeah. So I think it was down to Jack, really. And the great, and also the fans, like the fans, and the fan art and the gifts and the the Tumblr and the everything else. I mean, it was. They're aware of all that. They see what is trending and what is popular, and believe me, I definitely would probably think Helena probably wouldn't be there without the fans for sure. Yeah.
You were going to ask a question, my friend.
So I figure your new favorite show is Daredevil.
Yeah.
Any other favorite shows currently well?
We just finished House of Cards as well. Yeah, that's great. I love watching Robin. What was her name now? She's not married.
Robin Wright Penn.
Robin Wright.
Robin Wright Penn.
You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
Claire. I like watching her. I think she's quite a Stunner-esque character. She's very graceful, icy, and scary. But she also has heart. And actually, I think Stunner has heart. She just makes you like.
Yeah, I'm halfway through. I'm episode 7 on Daredevil.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I think it's one of the better made, more interestingly
I think it's
written.
the
really,
best superhero thing I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
dark. I worked with Charlie Cox on Boardwalk.
I love him. I can't believe he's English.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's such a talented, so versatile. That's what they say about you and Defiance.
I can't believe she's a human! Amazing! She looks so different without that
Why am I blushing?
Because you're ginger.
Gingers are cool. That man's got a great beard. God bless you, sir, for that. Amazing. You've been growing that since you were a child. 2 years. Wow.
That's my age.
Red power. Hi.
If you guys could choose any role to play, what role would you choose in any kind of like film, movie, or current TV show?
God almighty.
I wish you'd sent it to us before we got there. Go on, give it a good answer.
Paired. Ruminating, chewing on.
Who do you envy?
Oh, I don't know. I like the classics, I like
I can't think of anything.
Shakespeare. I played Mercutio of Romeo and Juliet on a stage play once, and it was great fun. I just left drama school, and that for me, beginning as an actor, he was a sort of a tragic character himself. And as Jaime spoke about characters that she's played and she relates to in the past, I always was attracted to people that seem to have I seem to have a good side, but then ended up having a bad side, or
There's
some
such
people.
a tragedy to that character because he's
totally.
a clown and
He ends
cheerful.
up saving. Yeah, he saves the day. He tries to be the peacemaker, and he ends up sort of, a scratch, but it will, curse on all your houses.
Together.
The Scottish plays another one, yeah. You'd be quite the lady.
I actually did the speech, about, the
Out down
speech.
spot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I did it, and I was about 19 when I went to drama school, and you have to audition to go to drama school.
You couldn't write a letter.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember the incredibly intimidating teacher kind of saying to me, yes, a lot of girls come in doing this speech, and the thing is, Jamie, girls can't play Lady Macbeth. So I like to really have another stab at it.
Yeah.
Another stab at it.
Well, that wasn't very encouraging.
No.
How old are you? How old were you?
19.
Well, that's old.
Well, that was the school I went to. Was called Drama Centre, but it was actually known as Trauma Centre. Michael Fassbender was 2 years ahead of me. Russell Brand was the year ahead of me, and Tom Hardy was the year behind me. So I mean, we had some great actors in our school, but they were very, very crushing. They would get you to kind of stand up and, you know, it was method acting. You know, share very intimate details and you know, the most upsetting and traumatic experience that you'd had. And then you do it in front of your kind of class of 30 people who were kind of a bit sick of you by the second term anyway. And then the teacher, you know, would get you to get up, and then he'd be like, sit down, Kevin. Hands up who thinks Kevin is self-indulgent. And people would be like... So yeah, it was a tough round. It was a tough place.
Tough going that, yeah.
Exactly.
Jeez, it's a tough crowd. No, I guess it'd be good to do the Scottish play. Murray as Lady M, and yeah, I'd like to play I never say his name. I think sometimes it can be bad luck, but yeah, him. I guess we're not in a theatre, but if ever you said that in a theatre, people would say, you can't say that in a theatre. You just have to say the Scottish play, because he's such a, well, he did such terrible things to the king that was. You know?
Oh, Game of Thrones. I want to be on Game of Thrones.
Everybody dies on that show.
I'd already be on Game of Thrones. I would like to be Cersei, definitely Cersei. I did want to be the Queen of the Dragons, but then I was like, I thought she was a bit too much of a goodie two. Saucy Cersei.
We don't like goody two-shoes, do we?
Yeah.
Nicey.
Exactly. I want us to get the dragons back.
I want to get... She's got out of control of her dragons now, though, hasn't
Who
she?
would you play in Game of Thrones?
I'd have to play the wee man.
Oh.
He's such a wonderful character, isn't he? He's become
Yeah,
a sort of
I
face.
loved his dad as well. I don't want to give a
Charles Dance.
Dance.
Charles Dance, don't say too much, of course.
I won't, actually, I was just about to give a spoiler.
You've all seen Game of Thrones.
No, I've been asking everybody.
Oh,
not
really?
everybody else.
Are you caught up in season 2 of Defiance? Oh, there's a lot of head nodding.
Well, everybody, like, I know a lot of people DVR and watch it online and get round to the box set or whatever. Please watch it on June 12th.
Yes.
Because, you know, I need to pay my gas bill.
Yeah, they took their time, and hopefully when it comes out on June 12th, they'll have a decision. There's a thing in television, it's a word it's called momentum. And unfortunately, they lost a little bit of it, having like a 14 months period from when we finished shooting.
Different
to
shoot
shooting
at a
it,
different day. You know, it's different. You know,
some sort of continuity. But it's interesting. I was saying to some people that we're finished shooting in Toronto on June 12th, and that's the day that the show actually premieres. It's a double episode, so it'll be like
we'll still be filming as
they're showing it. Yeah, you'll be getting your makeup off. No, we're all very excited about the third season. We think it's, some shows come out the gates, swinging. I think our show has been doing well, but it's taken a little bit of time. Season 2 has really improved, and I think this season people are going to enjoy it a lot more because it's a lot leaner. There's some, I was saying to Jamie, we do Q&As with some people and with some of the press. Normally I'm having a joke and having a laugh about the season, but this season I've been talking about it, and it's been really quite serious and heavy, and dramatically that's a good thing, but in many other ways there's some things that happen in the first 2 episodes that are quite shocking and unexpected.
Getting beat up again?
Hi, hey, G-Man.
Which Votan race do you think you most identify with?
Ooh.
There's a new Votan race this season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you identify with them, do you?
Oh, sorry, girl.
I'm saying nothing. I'm saying nothing. Oh.
Not Erathians. They're so grubby, aren't they?
But they're quite soulful though. I like they're in touch. They're like pagans, you know. They're in touch with the earth. I kind of dig that. They don't have a deity. The earth man is their god.
Yeah.
I like that about them. You know. What do you like?
Well, I mean, Castifans, I play one, but I feel like I can't say Castifan. Also, they're a bit evil, but anyway.
They're just misunderstood.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Like Nolan's misunderstood, although he's a bit of a homicidal maniac. Isn't that right, Ryan? Ryan's dressed as Grand Bowler today. No man Nolan. Yeah.
The Butcher.
The Butcher, Yosemite, or as Jim Murray, who played Pottinger, would say, yeah, the Butcher or the Yosemite. Yosemite Jim. Nah, it's Yosemite, isn't it? No, Jim, it's not.
Oh my God, look at the Indogene.
Where?
It's unbelievable.
Oh my God, you are an Indogene. Wow, look at
Stand
you.
up. Will you get us to stand up? Will you please stand up, Doc Yule?
Doc Yule.
Like 5 hours.
Oh, please come and see us at the booth. I want to get a picture.
Yeah, I want to get pictures of you. Amazing.
How long did that take you? Take you a while? 3 hours? Jesus, the same amount of time as it takes Trenna. Prosthetic depression, hello. She's a real trooper, isn't she?
Yeah.
Trenna. It's amazing that her character, her spirit of Doc Yule comes through all of that bloody makeup. The way she speaks as Doc Yule has got a lot to do with the way
she's allowed to, she physically is able to.
She can't open her mouth further than that. So it's kind of interesting that
I think she would be okay with us telling you, but when we first started, there were some times when she first started where she would have a panic. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
she was in it, and she was quite frightened. She was having a panic attack.
Yeah, totally. It was sort of
frightening.
She was sort of.
I mean, you can't go anywhere or get anything or get away, and it was hot. It was like in the summer and
claustrophobic, hugely claustrophobic, and she was a real
we
trooper.
thought very protective, but all the aliens were quite console each other and counsel each other about prosthetic depression.
I think there's some costumes which I'm sure in the past they have mentioned that they love putting the costumes on you, but they actually realise that some of the Olmec characters and some of the Castlevans in the past, they go, oh, I need to go to the bathroom now, and they're like, well, you can't. And I'm like, why? We're in the middle of a scene and it takes 35 minutes to get your costume off, because they sew you into the freaking costume.
Or they do a lot of lacing.
And it takes you a long time to get it off, so I wish you told me that when you put me into this. But they're like, oh, he looks good on camera. I'm like, well, Jamie says, yeah, so does shooting exteriors in February in Toronto. It's 35 below zero.
I mean, it looks beautiful, but
But 9 of your actors are hypothermic.
I've only got 7 toes left. And they've got such lovely feet. They've got
Lovely toes, I must say. Well, good for you, Doc Yule. Nice job.
When we were filming outside in Toronto in the coldest February on record for the last 45 years, in snowdrifts, literally out in the countryside, we were in the middle of a scene and I was so cold I couldn't feel my, limbs. And I just wanted to go home, and I could hear this rustling, crackling, and I thought that I'd got like one of these screwed up, trash in my skirt, and every time I moved around, it was crackling, and I thought, well, it's going to affect the sound. I'm going to have to ADR this, like go into the studio and do all the vocal again. And so when they said cut, I lifted up my skirts to see where this bottle was, and there was no bottle. I couldn't work out. And then I was walking, waddling along, crackle, 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 crackle. And I realised that the whole of the back of my skirt was a sheet of ice. And as I was walking, it was crunching. And there was nothing else to do about it. I was wearing a dress.
She was doing an episode of Frozen.
I was going to say, Frozen.
Elsa.
I mean, I know I'm an ice queen, but seriously. What about that time when we first got to the zoo and we were walking up and we said, it was our first day back, so you don't always know, you know a lot of the crew, but you don't know all of them because not everybody has been able to come back, so there's new members. And we said we need to go to the loo, and they sent us up to those portaloos. So we're walking through the snow in the woods to the portaloos, dressed as Daytak and Stama. And actually, I posted that picture on Instagram. This guy walks towards us, and we thought it was a member of the crew. And he just walks up to us, he's like, he was just a hiker. and it was like snow white, and I'm wearing white, and he's wearing white, and we're both completely white with our contact lenses in. And this guy was like, can I take a picture? And I posted the picture, so I've got that fur hat.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
He was very good at taking photos, even when his hands were shaking.
We were chatting to him for like 10 minutes and then
we had to kill him. It was
nice to
hear. For the first episode, I felt it was fitting, really, wasn't it?
So after 10 minutes, I was like, okay, which department do you work in? He went, sorry? I said, department, are you in sound or in? He says, what do you mean, department? I'm just walking my dog. And I was like, I got on, terribly sorry. And of course, we had to kill him. Stand on the old knife, the old hair. No, we don't kill everybody we don't like, do we? No, just the bad ones. Bad
All the
seeds.
boring or bad. Watch out.
Or the ones you love.
Exactly.
Yes, kill the ones we want. Yes.
Yes, I have a question. I met Grant last year at Comic-Con, and he seems like such a calm man. But on the show, he's such an intense man. What is he really like?
He's
The pendulum swings.
he's very as Nolan. He's very volatile, you know.
Yeah.
He's very he's got that sort of I guess he's like Daytak in that sense. But no, he's a pretty funny guy, you know. He's very chilled. But
He's quite gregarious.
he's
though,
very
as well.
gregarious, he's very funny, he's got a great sense of humour. But one thing about Grant, Jesus, I mean, it takes us 7 days to shoot an episode. We do them simultaneously, so it's 14-day block to shoot 2 episodes. And then we get our schedule, and then we'll look down at, first of all, Jaime will look at number 5, I'll look at number 4. How many days are we shooting, you know? Sometimes we're only in for like 4 days, 5 days. If we were in for more than 8 days, we're like, bloody hell, you know what? So the Grant always 12 days, 13 days, 14 days. So God bless him. He is there constantly, isn't he?
Yeah.
So God, it's tough being there, especially through that winter. So now he's a trooper though. He'll grumble about it, being there and all that, and he'll give us a hard time. But actually, to be honest, that's when he's at his happiest, isn't it? When he's at work. So I think he just loves sort of being. What time do you call this? I'm just kidding. To the next question. But no, he's a good laugh, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a trooper.
What were your guys' favorite turns, like character turns and plot points that you liked the most out of each one of your characters?
Well, that's a good question.
God, I think a lot of mine are this season. I mean, I think that for Stama, this is the most interesting season. I think the first season, she was very. She was very interesting for me to play because, I was playing very submissive and someone from a very, very different culture, and I was really into playing the alien of her, and, she would get upset or offended if someone kind of laughed because she would think that she was being mocked or something. There's a lot of misunderstandings and alienness, and I focused on her movement and stuff. But then by the time we got to the second season, it was really about the power struggle between her and Daytak, which was really fun.
Yeah.
And this season, I would say the harder she fights to regain power, the less she can hold it. And it's a really slippery slope for her, and you see her truly out of control for the first time. You see her without a plan. And it was really thrilling for me to play, but obviously I can't really tell you about those. spoiler, but you must watch on June 12th. Friday, on Saturday.
Oh, come and find you.
Genuinely, I think that there will be. It's enthralling and it's shocking this season. I mean, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed Stammer.
I think I've worked in the first 2 seasons quite a lot. I always work with Jaime and Stammer. This season, it's interesting. We've worked a bit together, but not as much in the past. I won't say too much about that because there's different dynamics going on within the Tar family, and I think that's what a lot of the 3rd season is about. That I find very interesting is is a lot of it is about saving the town of Defiance, but it's also about saving the domestic side of things as well, saving our families, saving our relationships within our families, and I think emotionally there's been a lot of opportunities for all of us, all the characters in the show, to dive into a heavier, more emotional sort of side of the character that you might think that they never had, you know. But
you sound like it sounds so dreary.
Tell me what you really think.
I just mean, like, it is. The themes are really big, and there is lots of shocking stuff and cliffhangers, and you know, the stakes are high and there's danger, but there's also quite a lot of humour in it. I mean, those scenes.
Oh my God!
It's such brilliant scenes. But it's like I think that the audience is going to love that.
Oh no! I think there's a real balance, you know. I mean, too down and down about it. There's great humour and the cuttingness of the Tar.
The thing is, you know, I think for Daytak and Stammer, first season, you know, he was the boss, and she, you know, although she was trying to get her way, she could never be, you know, straight on about it. She would have to manipulate and go sideways.
Yeah.
Second season, there was a power struggle. This time, when you see them dealing with each other, they're dealing with each other as equals, and that's the first time you've ever seen them do that. And it's, you know, it's not all peaceful, them dealing with things that they disagree about as equal.
No,
it's a lot of fun.
It's good to have actually had that sort of roller coaster journey and to actually confront each other. That Stammer's not trying to be all sort of manipulative. She's just coming out and saying what she really thinks, and then he's saying what he really thinks, and it's a lot of fun to play. No, with regards to getting down about it, it's just that there's some scenes that I've shot with Jesse or with Alak, and they've been very, very intense and intense in the way that we haven't done anything like that before. But at the same time, it's been a lot of fun to shoot. A really challenging season, I thought. This season was more challenging.
I had to learn a different alien language.
Yeah. She had to learn the Olmec, or the another alien race which come into Defiance, and Jaime had to speak Olmec, which is as David J. Peterson. He speaks several languages. He's a linguist. He works on Game of Thrones. He worked on Thor and so on. But the language that Jaime speaks, the Olmec language, is derived from parts of Africa. So as Jaime will tell you, there's sort of clicks and noises that they make that sounds like nothing.
I'll do something for you, shall I?
Do something, yeah.
So the first thing I had to say, which I freaked out about, but now I remember, is Sulik sunamizgus, ramusit int avdi, int dazimpas us. Look, I forgot that. I forgot it then.
You can't tell us what it means.
I know, I can't say, but it's so funny because like, you'd think that you can make it up, but you actually can't make it up.
Oh, that's what everybody says. That's what my wife says. She says, "Oh, honey, if you forget that line, who gives a damn anyway?" And I'm like, oh, but the thing is, it totally throws you.
Yeah, it really
the whole
throws you,
scene.
because there's a rhythm to it.
Yeah, and you're like it's like trying to, if you're doing Shakespeare on stage and you forget a line in Shakespeare and you try to improvise Shakespearean language, you're in trouble, So
egg on your face.
Egg, huge egg. But there was lots of alien language this season. There's an episode I did, and I don't speak English at all. So when you get lots of that coming down on your computer, you're like, Stocko!
I get pretty angry.
You do.
Pretty
She
angry.
doesn't like all the alien. I'm like, but you're an alien, baby. Learn your alien, baby. Oh, is that us?
That's us.
Thank you. Thank you. For
Thank you.
coming, everybody.